Hello and welcome to Bradley University. My name is Angie Cooksy and I serve as the Director of Freshman Admissions here at Bradley and your host for our virtual on-demand Under the Stars program. Today you will have a chance to learn a little bit more about Bradley, hear from some of our faculty and our students, and then learn a little bit about the admission process. While this is an on-demand recording, we do have admission counselors available for you anytime. Just reach out via phone or email and we're happy to answer your individual questions. Let's go ahead and get started. Bradley University's hometown is Peoria, Illinois, and one of the things that is so special about Peoria is it is a mid-sized city in central Illinois. Housed in Peoria is Caterpillar's hometown. It's the Downstate Medical Center for Illinois, including Children's Hospital of Illinois and the St. Jude Midwest affiliate. Peoria is a great sports town with the Peoria Rivermen professional hockey team and the St. Louis Cardinals affiliate Peoria Chiefs. And there's also so much culture in Peoria. So whether that's attending the symphony or the Peoria Ballet, getting to see a Broadway show at the Broadway Theater Series. And then also Peoria is accessible. So for those of you who are joining us from outside the state of Illinois, you can get into Peoria in the Peoria International Airport. It is international because we fly to Canada, so that does put us outside of the United States, but we are about 3 hours from Chicago, St. Louis, and Indianapolis, and so it is accessible via a quick car ride or by airplane as well. Bradley is located just about 1.5 miles from downtown Peoria. So we are located in a historic neighborhood of the Peoria community. It is very much a walkable campus. And so that yellow line that you see there outlined, that's really the campus proper of Bradley. You can walk from one end of campus to the other in about 15 minutes. Again, for those of you who are joining us from outside the state of Illinois, Bradley is a residential campus. And so when you come to our campus community, you will find students who are not only learning on campus, but also living and enjoying the student activities on campus year-round. We were founded by a woman named Lydia Moss Bradley in 1897, and I always love to spend a little time at the beginning of our presentations sharing a little bit about Lydia's vision for Bradley. And as she said in 1897 language, she wanted to create Bradley to furnish its students the means of living an independent, industrious, and useful life. And so everything we do, even today, really is in this legacy of Lydia, creating a space where our students can be engaged in the classroom and then take those skills and that knowledge and translate it out into the outside world and really ultimately get a job as they're leaving the Bradley community. For so many of the students that I work with, they're starting this search here and they're feeling like, oh my goodness, I am getting mail and email and text messages from all 1,806 four-year degree granting institutions, colleges and universities across the country. And I can totally understand how that can feel overwhelming. And so as we start to consider really how to narrow down that search, one of the best places to start is really with this idea of size. I always love to spend a little bit of time talking about the size of colleges because I'm even doing this for as long as I have. I'm always surprised by how many schools fall into each category. And so small colleges across the United States actually make up actually make up 51% of the schools across the country. But these are schools that have fewer than 2,000 students. And so more than half of the schools have fewer than 2,000 students on their campuses. These are very personal universities and institutions, opportunities where you're gonna have that engagement in the classroom and really get to know your professors in those small class sizes, but maybe fewer choices in regards to majors or student activities. On the flip side of that are those large universities, the ones that we all know and can name off the top of our head. Here's maybe where the numbers get surprising for me. Only 14% of the schools actually qualify as a large university. These are those places that are 10,000 to over 65,000 students. But again, they're the ones that we all know. Many choices, all of the majors, all the activities, but maybe sacrificing a little bit on that personal side, on the opportunity to engage with your professors, to ask those questions in the classroom. And then right there in the middle are mid-sized universities. And so representing about 34% of schools throughout the United States, these are institutions that are between 2,000 and just under 10,000 students, really offering that combination of both personalized experiences with more choices both in and outside of the classroom. Bradley at nearly 6,000 students, I like to say, is right there in the middle of medium, really offering that mid-sized difference, that mid-sized big difference, and more personalized than a large university. And so all of the classes at Bradley are taught by professors. You don't have any teaching assistants or grad assistants teaching your classes, but more opportunities than small colleges. We have 185 different areas of academic programming available at Bradley and over 240 student organizations. So lots of opportunities to create your individualized and unique Bradley story in a way that's reflective of who you are and who you want to be. As we dive right into the colleges, one thing to specifically highlight is we do have 5 individual colleges on campus here at Bradley. And we'll talk a little bit about each of the 5 colleges as we move forward. 185 different academic programs, as I mentioned, throughout the 5 colleges. And one of the things that I think is so neat is we actually have over 3,000 individual classes taught each year. And so again, when you think about that opportunity to explore different areas of interest and look at programs that are you would like to just kind of dive into and see what they're about, Bradley really offers you that space. The other thing I think is really special about the 5 colleges is we are not an institution where things are super siloed. And so at Bradley, if you are an engineer but want to take classes in the music college, you certainly can, and you can still play in the band. Or if you're a nursing major and want to take Spanish courses, you can do that. Really having that opportunity to, again, customize your Bradley experience so it's reflective of what you're looking for in the outcome. The Foster College of Business is rated as one of the top 50 undergraduate colleges of business in the country, according to Bloomberg Business Week. Really, this is a reflection of that in-person, interactive, and engaging experience inside the classroom. Also a testament to the requirement of the Foster College of Business that our students have a consulting experience before they graduate. So whether that is with a senior project or an internship, our students are going to take those things that they learn in the classroom and then translate them into the real world and have that real level of engagement during their time at Bradley. 16 academic programs across 6 different departments in the Foster College of Business. The Foster College also has some graduate opportunities as well. They have a 3-2 program in accounting, so you can graduate in 5 years with your master's in accounting and enough credits to sit for the CPA exam. They also offer an MBA program as well. The Slane College of Communication and Fine Arts is actually where my home base was when I was a student at Bradley. I was a public relations major in the College of under the Department of Communications. One of my favorite things about the Slane College, again, when we talk about those hands-on experiences, is the opportunity that the Slane College, both as a college and as individual professors, have created to make sure that students have those opportunities to get engaged. Bradley's Slane College is the host college for our Hollywood semester. And so for our students who are looking for that experience out in LA, you can take classes out during the Hollywood semester. It's essentially a domestic study abroad experience. You take classes out there for an entire semester, but you also get an internship in your area of study. And so maybe you're thinking you want to be a game designer, or maybe you want to be a broadcaster, a sports broadcaster. You can get an internship in that area, take your classes out there, and then start the next semester back at Bradley. Again, Slane College is the host college for all of our fine arts. And so for students that are looking at continuing in music or theater or art, you don't have to be a major or minor in any of those areas. You can continue to explore the fine arts. We know for so many of our students, they've played trumpet in the band since they were in 4th grade, and they'd like to continue that in college, but maybe they're looking to be a business major. And at Bradley, we think it's really important that you still have access to those opportunities. And so you do not have to be a major or minor to continue in the fine arts. College of Education and Health Sciences, essentially 2 different areas here housed in one college. One of my favorite things about the College of Education, and I think studying education at Bradley, is the advantage of where we are geographically. And so Peoria is a city in the middle of the country. And so we have very urban schools in Peoria, we have really suburban schools in Peoria, and we have really rural schools in Peoria. Schools with opportunities like Take Your Tractor to School Week for Homecoming Week, which as a suburban girl myself, I had never experienced. That was never part of my homecoming week. But different schools have different experiences in and out of the classroom. And so for our students, We try to get them not only into multiple schools, but into multiple types of schools. And so typically there's an observation experience freshman year, there's a teaching experience junior year, and then there's a student teaching experience full on during their senior year. And we also have a health sciences curriculum at Bradley. We have a direct entry early assurance program with our health science and kinesiology that leads directly into our doctorate of physical therapy, as well as our direct entry nursing program. One thing to highlight here is that actually all of the programs at Bradley are direct entry, but where this is a little bit special for the college or for the nursing program is that you do have to be admitted as a high school senior into our nursing program to start nursing at Bradley. And so our nursing program does start your freshman year. Clinicals begin your sophomore year. It's a 4-year BSN in nursing. 100% placement, ultimate placement on the NCLEX exam, and 100% job placement within 6 months of graduation. So again, that direct entry piece is really critical, especially for those nursing students to get started in that curriculum right away. Caterpillar College of Engineering and Technology, a top 30 undergraduate engineering program in the country. And again, really directly related to those experiences, those hands-on experiences in the classroom. And so if you are looking for a place where, particularly for engineering, you're going to be doing that research and you're going to be working in the labs, where in your engineering labs, they're also taught by faculty and professors. You don't have teaching assistants or grad assistants, where you can ask questions and say, hey, I want to explore this a little bit more. I want to dive deeper into this project, and where you're going to be working in a brand new building, the Caterpillar College of Engineering and Technology, combined with the Foster College of Business, to develop and create a brand new building designed for collaborative, innovative educational opportunities. And so for you to have makerspace classes where they really change depending on what the students and the faculty need that space to look like, and collaborative space where you can meet with other students to do group projects and write on the whiteboards and really dive into what you're learning. Bradley's college is very much a hands-on experience, lots of opportunities. And for the Caterpillar College of Engineering and Technology, definitely tends to be more of an internship focused school. And so if you're looking for those relationships with companies across the United States, certainly really good opportunities here. Most of our engineers also have a hands-on real-life senior project with a company where essentially they act as consultants, external consultants for that company as that company is working and developing a project. As we wrap up the 5 colleges on campus, I want to spend a little time talking about the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. This is the largest college on campus as far as the number of academic programs that are available. So there are 50 academic programs across 14 departments, and then 28 minors. And so again, a lot of opportunities here for you to create that Bradley experience that you're looking for, to have those courses in different academic areas. And one just personal example from myself, I mentioned I was a public relations major out of the Communication and Fine Arts College. I have a minor in leadership studies out of the College of Education and Health Sciences and a minor out of the marketing department in the College of Business. And so a lot of opportunities for students to collaborate across colleges. College of Liberal Arts and Science specifically, for all of those lab sciences, and so biology and chemistry, biochemistry, those opportunities to do research are vastly important to our students. And we have students in labs doing research as early as sophomore year. And then for our humanities, and so the psychologies and sociologies and religious studies, those opportunities, again, to do really in-depth research and development and to present at national conferences. One of our students, or our groups last year, our psychology students, they actually got to present at a national conference, and they were some of the only undergraduates getting to present there. And so those are things that really set Bradley apart as you look at that mid-sized, big difference type experience. One thing I always like to pause a little bit on is to talk about the academic exploration program. And I think that this is so important for my students, because so many of my students just have this sense of like, oh my goodness, Angie, you guys want us to decide where we're going to go and where we're going to spend the next 4 years and what we're going to do, and all of these really, really big decisions. And sometimes it just feels like there's just too much. And so what I love about the academic exploration program is it says, It's okay if you don't know exactly what you want to do yet. Actually, 1 in 6 of our new students every year say they're not exactly sure what they want to do yet either. And I bet if we were live today and I asked some of your parents if they still knew what they wanted to do, there would be some parents that were still unsure, even as grown-ups. And so the academic exploration program really allows you to say, I need to explore a little bit more. I still think it's important that I have an academic advisor. And I still think it's important that I'm going to have somebody that's helping me choose my classes and figure out what's going to be a good fit. And I still think it's important that I can take classes in any area of the university that I'm interested in, but I'm not sure that I'm ready to commit to just one. That's really intentionally how this program is designed. You can start in this program and transition into any program at Bradley with the exception of nursing, but pretty much everything else is available to you and you can still graduate in 4 years. As we continue today, I wanted to give you a chance to hear from our faculty themselves, and we've talked so much about them and that personalized experience in the classroom. So I wanted to share a little bit with you their experience and what they think are some of the hallmarks of the Bradley experience. So without further ado, here are some of our amazing faculty.
Hi, I'm Tom Richmond, the Assistant Vice President of Enrollment, or as more people know me, the Admissions Marketing Guy. Welcome to our faculty panel. We've invited members of our faculty from several departments to spend a few minutes with us talking about what makes Bradley different than other colleges. Now, with more than 185 academic programs at Bradley, we're not able to learn about every academic option in a short panel, but let's hear about a few of our programs from those who represent them. Let's start by asking our faculty to introduce themselves and then give maybe like a 1-minute highlight speech about your academic area. We'll begin today with Amy, if you want to lead off.
Thank you, Tom. Welcome, everyone. My name is Amy Fairfield. I serve as the undergraduate recruiting coordinator for the Foster College of Business, also as an adjunct professor in the finance department. In the Foster College of Business, we have 6 departments where we have 10 majors and 15 minors. And so with the way the curriculum is developed, you have an opportunity to very easily pair a major with a minor to help you prepare for your professional career. In the Foster College of Business, we focus on 3 items: student-faculty interaction. Every student has a faculty advisor in their department. Experiential learning, which we'll talk about in a few moments, and of course, great outcomes. We share the new Business and Engineering Convergence Center with our friends in the College of Engineering. They have 4 departments, and we'll talk about some of those projects in a moment.
Thank you, Amy. Lee, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and the areas you represent.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Lee Newton, Chair of the Department of English, and I also serve as the Admissions Liaison for the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. The College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is the largest college on campus with 13 departments. We range from everything from English to biology and computer science to history. We have the highest percentage of double majors and minors. And we pride ourselves on focusing on several things, such as student engagement, student mentoring, outcomes, and one-on-one experiences with our students.
Good summary. As we think about all the colleges, BJ, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself and the areas you represent.
Hello and welcome to Bradley. I'm BJ Lawrence. I'm the Associate Dean of the Slane College of Communications and Fine Arts. I have a fabulous job because I get to work with all of the students who are majoring in the departments of art and design, communication, interactive media, music, and theater arts. And together we make wonderful music, beautiful plays, and lovely artwork.
I like that. That's my college. I graduated from Bradley's Slane College. You know, I'm seeing a common thread that across Bradley, whether it's one major or another. I mean, today we don't have anybody representing the education or health science groups, but there's still some common threads, and I think they're best understood by the stories you all tell about these student interactions and the experiences that you have and the kind of amazing outcomes they lead to. Let's do the same order, and maybe you could give us an example of a story from your college. Amy, could you lead us off?
I'd love to. Thank you, Tom. So I think for first-year students, the most important thing we try to get them doing is join one of 16 student-led business organizations. Now, mind you, there are a couple of a couple of hundred clubs and organizations on campus, so there'll be a lot of great things to do. But it's important, again, for your professional career to begin working with students who are studying the same major or minor. You work with a faculty advisor. You'll start networking with professionals. So we highly encourage all of our new first-year students to join one of the student-led organizations in the Foster College of Business. This helps you develop your leadership skills. Now that makes a nice transition into the senior capstone project. So every student in the Foster College of Business participates in a multidisciplinary project with a real business. And so this is the best hands-on learning experience because you work with a real business who is seeking assistance with a business problem that they're having. So again, every student gets to participate on one of these projects. It's a huge differentiator for the Foster College of Business, and it will be a huge differentiator for you as well. We also have, as I mentioned, we share the Business and Engineering Convergence Center with the College of Engineering, and we run convergence projects where cross-discipline teams, as in business students and engineering students, work on projects with businesses in the community.
Those are great examples. Lee, what's going on over in the College of Liberal Arts and Science?
Absolutely. At the local level, meaning the Department of English, I'm incredibly proud of the fact that we have a 100% internship placement rate, which means that if any of our majors are looking for an internship, we're going to work very hard to help them find one. So for instance, a number of students work with me on grant writing, and I place them with local not-for-profits so they get real-world experience and obviously a great resume builder. Outside of our department, and I should mention that most of our departments do that kind of one-on-one work with their students in regards to finding internships. But many of our departments also send students to national conferences, regional and national both. A highlight there would be, for instance, the Department of Psychology, who sends upwards of 60 students to national conferences every year. And that's paid for by the department and the college. So the students themselves incur no costs. And then finally, I just want to point out that as an incoming freshman, for many of you there, you will get to step straight into our labs right here on campus, whether it's in biology, chemistry, physics, psychology. At a larger institution, you're just not going to have that option until your junior or senior years. Whereas here as an incoming freshman, you're already working with world-renowned faculty.
Those are great examples. I know you've got some good examples for us over in the Slane College.
I do, Tom. Thank you. I love the opportunity to talk to you about the Hollywood semester. Bradley is one of 15 schools in the country that has a specifically designed program to let students their junior or senior year spend a semester in Hollywood where they are absorbing the entertainment experience. They're living in Burbank. Warner Brothers is their backyard. They're interning at certain places like The Price is Right, Conan O'Brien, the Screen Actors Guild Award, animation houses, music businesses, and television performances. And they are taking experiential learning courses that are entertainment-based with such people as Eric Peterson, who was the star of School of Rock, Doug Frank, who is the former president of Warner Brothers Music Operations, and many guests who are coming in to share their experiences. It's a terrific opportunity. Additionally, let me mention quickly that the Department of Communication has a relationship with the NBC and the Olympics. We are one of 3 schools that select people to go to the Winter and Spring Olympics, and our Department of Interactive Media, that is ranked 8th in the country, has an internship with NASA where our students are going, using their opportunities to design game opportunities that will be interactive and improve the quality of life with our astronauts. So we think they're terrific experiences that everyone can take part in.
That is really helpful just to hear these stories about all the things that are possible because of Bradley's size, with the faculty engaged with the freshmen, but having the opportunities of a university. I hope that these stories that we've heard are just really a way to get an inside look at Bradley. And I want to remind everyone who joined us for the program that these are the people you would meet on campus. I know they will, when we have on-campus visit programs, they love to meet you. We want to invite you to come. I want to thank all of you for giving us a few moments of your time today.
Thank you, Tom. Please do come join us on the Hilltop. We'd love to have you visit.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Visit us soon, please.
And thank you from the Slane College. We love talking and sharing our experiences. See you soon.
Thank you.
I love getting a chance to introduce you to our faculty. They are so wonderful, and genuinely they will be the people that you get to see on campus when you come to campus and visit us. As we continue, I always think it's funny that I start back as starting about the graduate school when we stopped our presentation on the idea that it's okay to not know what you want to do yet. But it is really interesting that so many of the students that I work with have already started to think about, even if they don't know what they want to major in, they know that some part of their story is often going to include medical school or a master's degree or going on to law school. And so at Bradley, while we do have 36 programs as part of our graduate school, one of the things I want to highlight for our undergraduate students is our two centers, the Center for Legal Studies and the Health Professions Advising Center. What these centers are designed to do is to provide you with additional resources outside of your major to say, hey, I think that I might want to go on to law school, or I think that I maybe want to explore what it looks to be a veterinarian, or I am a biology student, but I'm not sure I want to go traditionally to med school. I might want to look at something else. These are professionally staffed centers that bring in resources to do professional panels and to help prepare for your next steps as far as testing goes, and to talk about what are those different graduate school options. And so a really wonderful resource, and again, not tied to any one major, which I think is so important. And so it's truly open to any student on campus. We have engineers that go on to law school. We have business majors who go on to medical school. Really, truly, you don't have to be on a traditional path or the path that kind of everyone else does. You really can make your own path to go on to whatever your story should look like. Speaking of what your story should look like, one of the things that is such a huge part of the college experience is the opportunity to study abroad. And I strongly encourage and recommend that you go ahead and do so and plan to, if it's possible in your Bradley experience. About 20% of Bradley students do choose to study abroad while they're here. We have relationships with 7 different countries. And probably our most popular options are our study abroad opportunities either in January or in May during our interim programs. And the reason those are the most popular is because our students get really involved during the academic year. And sometimes they just don't want to miss a whole semester or a whole year. They certainly can. If you'd like to do a more traditional opportunity over the course of a year or semester, you're welcome to set that up. But the interim programs allow you to go abroad with a Bradley faculty member, other Bradley students, and take a Bradley class abroad for about 2.5 to 3 weeks, and then come back and you're back in time to start your next semester of coursework. This is particularly important for students that have classes and majors that are very lockstep. Things like education and nursing and engineering have pretty rigorous curriculums. And so this allows every single student at Bradley, regardless of your major, the opportunity to have a study abroad experience if you would choose to have one. Speaking again a little bit about the faculty experience, and I apologize because I think my face is cutting off some of our pictures there. The average class size at Bradley is 17. The student to faculty ratio is 12:1, and all of our courses and all of our classes are taught by faculty. You don't have teaching assistants or grad assistants teaching any of your classes. Additionally, as I mentioned in the academic exploration program, you will also have an academic advisor in your area of study, which is really important. Somebody that's there to make sure that you're taking the right courses, that you're on track to graduate. A personal story, we got to meet BJ Lawrence in our faculty panel. She was actually my academic advisor when I was a student, and she taught my speech class, my freshman year, I think. She taught my freshman year speech class. I actually got to intern with her when I was a junior in college, and she was somebody who wrote letters of recommendations and things for me when I graduated. And so having that relationship is something that's really valuable as part of that engagement with our faculty. I mentioned that we are a residential campus. We do have 5 first-year residence halls at Bradley's campus. They are traditional dual occupancy residence halls, and so you have the opportunity to live with one other person. And about 90% of our students in a traditional year do live on campus. And so I would be remiss not to mention that things just don't look traditional this year, given everything else that's happening. We are serving in sort of a hybrid model. So we do have some students who have chosen to stay on campus this year and take their classes on campus. And we do have some students who have chosen to stay home and take their classes remotely. But in a traditional year, about 90% of our freshmen do live on campus. Most of our students then who live off campus around Bradley's community live within walking distance of campus. I've mentioned so much about the academic experience. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about all of the other things that you can do, and kind of an inside scoop. College is really super fun, and there's so many opportunities and so much activity, and we have 240 student organizations at Bradley. So whether that is getting involved in dance or music, we talked a little bit about how you don't have to be a music major or minor to continue in our music programs at Bradley. Whether you'd like to continue your religious preferences and activities while you're on campus. As a university, we are not religiously affiliated. When Lydia Moss Bradley founded us, she founded us to be an independent university. However, we have 18 different organizations on campus. So if that's something that you wanted to continue to participate in, whether that's Catholic Braves or Hillel or our Muslim Student Society, there's lots of opportunities around campus to continue those activities. Service and leadership, diversity and inclusion, opportunities to talk about making sure that this place is a place for everybody and everyone feels welcome and part of our campus community is a huge part of the Bradley culture. And so lots of opportunities to get involved with leadership activities and really being a voice and involvement in the community. We do have Greek life on campus. About 30% of our students choose to join a fraternity or sorority. Something cool to check out if that's something that you're interested in, but by no means something that every one of our students is involved in. Campus life as far as recreational and sports activities is a huge thing. We do have club sports on campus, but we also have a lot of intramurals. And so if you're looking to just kind of athletically stay active, lots of chances to do that, whether that's something like intramural ping pong or something that's a little bit more competitive like club hockey and a little bit more organized, really that runs the gamut there. We also just have so many things that aren't necessarily into one of these categories, but just out there for our students to be involved. And so there are lots of clubs and organizations for you to create, again, your individualized Bradley story. And I will tell you, all of the time people ask me, like, what's the downside, what's the bad part about Bradley? And I will say is the opportunity to be over involved. Our students get really engaged both inside and outside the classroom. And so when you think about, am I a good student for Bradley? We are really looking for students that are going to be active in the classroom, but also active in our campus community. Bradley plays in the Missouri Valley Conference. We have 15 Division I sports, and you can see right there in front of you is a picture of our men's basketball team. They actually are back-to-back Valley champs. We are so proud of them. It was a little bit devastating this year, I'm not going to lie, when we won the Missouri Valley Conference and then the NCAA tournament got canceled, but we are excited for another year to get to watch the basketball team. We have 220 student athletes on campus, and I always like to spend a little time highlighting the fact that first and foremost, every student on our campus is a student first. And so whether you come to play center field on our Division I women's softball team, or you come to play trumpet in the band, or you come to do research in our engineering labs, you are first and foremost a student on our campus, and we want to make sure that we support your whole person while you're here. And so whether that is in the classroom or in the on the field or on the playing court, you are first and foremost a student. Our student athletes actually have an academic GPA of a 3.4, which we are enormously proud of their work both on and off of the court. As we talk so much about student engagement and that experience in and outside the classroom, I will share with you very candidly, I don't talk a lot about rankings and ratings. If those are things that are important to you, there's certainly ones out there that you can take a look at. But I do like to share this one. Bradley is ranked as a top 25 private university in the country for student engagement, according to the Wall Street Journal and Times Higher Education. And why I think this is important is because the Wall Street Journal and Times Higher Education actually asked the students. It's not something that we said we're really good at. It's something they went to the students and said, hey, when you were a high school junior or senior and you sat in a presentation and they told you all the amazing things about your university, is that the experience that you're having as a student? And Bradley students across the board said yes. Yes, I'm able to talk to my faculty. Yes, I'm able to ask my professor questions. Yes, I'm able to do projects in and outside the classroom. And those answers drove that rating of being a top 25 school, really, which again is about that student experience that we think is so, so valuable and so important to the Bradley overall experience. And this all leads to that idea of success, those job and career outcomes that even Lydia back in 1897 was talking about. And so Bradley boasts a 93% career outcomes rate. And really what that means is that our students are finding opportunities in their area of study or going on to graduate school after graduation. And we think that's really important. We also think it's really important to know what they're doing. And so our Career Center, again, the Smith Career Center is open to every student on campus, works with students as they're graduating to find out where they're going and to find out what they're doing. And all of that research and all of that information comes back and results in that 93% career outcomes number. We get to that because of the opportunities for experiential learning. And a number of years ago, we started to look as a university and said, oh my goodness, so many of our students are having these experiences in and outside the classroom. And then we started to look a little deeper and we said, gosh, most of our students are having at least two, if not more than two. And with that information and with that research, we said, we're going to guarantee and require that 100% of our students have at least two documented experiential learning opportunities before they leave our campus. And so this can look like a lot of things. It can look like an internship. It can look like a study abroad opportunity. It can look like a senior project or a final presentation, a senior recital. But it's about saying, here are the things that I learned in the classroom, and here are the ways that I did them and took it to the next level and was able to experience what I was learning. You will have at least two of these experiences that will be documented on your transcript before you leave Bradley. And really to share a little bit about this, and I want you to be able to hear it from the students themselves, we have a student panel for you all to hear a little bit directly about the student experience.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our wonderful virtual visit day. My name is Kayla, and I am a senior chemistry major, and today I'm going to be introducing you to some wonderful stars that are going to give you about their taste and their experiences at Bradley. So first, we're going to start off our introductions with Michaela.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michaela Horn. I am a sophomore academic exploration program student from Champaign, Illinois. And some of my involvements include being an event coordinator for ACBU, which is the Activities Council of Bradley University. I also work as a student aide in the Office of Orientation and Advisement. I'm also involved in Catholic Braves and a few different organizations in the Louis J. Berger Center for Leadership and Service.
Hi everyone, my name is Ginger and I'm a graphic design and Spanish double major from Peoria, Illinois. And a few things that I'm involved in BU Cleanup Crew, AIGA, which stands for the American Institute of Graphic Arts that we have on campus. And then I'm also involved in the Peoria community quite a bit with the Peoria Art Guild and some other art related activities and organizations. And I also just started my own business, so check me out, Ginger Bay Studios on Etsy.
And I am a senior nursing major, which is crazy. I feel like I was just in your shoes. But I'm from Ashland, Illinois, which is a small town outside of Springfield. On campus, I'm involved in campus recreation as a lifeguard. I'm in WAGs for Mags, which is our organization for training service dogs. My roommate actually has a black lab puppy living with us right now, which is a lot of fun. I'm in Greek life, so I currently serve as my sorority's director of programming. And then I'm also in BNSA, which is our Bradley Nursing Students Association.
Hey guys, my name is Emilio. I'm a double major in economics and business law. My hometown is Frisco, Texas, so go out of state. A few things that I'm involved in. I'm in residential living on campus. I'm also a part of Alpha, which is an organization to help Latino students who are business majors. And so we have like a lot of cool meetings where we kind of help each other for job fairs, resume critiques. That's a lot of fun. Obviously, I'm involved as an admission representative. All right.
What's going on, you guys? My name is Josh. I am from Rochester, New York. I'm a political science major and women and gender studies minor. A few things that I'm involved in are the Bradley University speech team here, which is like my pride and joy. And then along with that, I'm on the NAACP and BSA.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeremy Rapp. I am a senior mechanical engineering major. And a couple of things I'm involved in. First of all, from Morton, Illinois. And a few things I'm involved in on campus are I am the president and founder of the Frisbee Golf Club on campus. I'm an RA on the dorms. Also, this past summer, I did an internship with Gladner Energy as part of my curriculum. So.
That's awesome. So obviously we have a wide variety of majors and different personalities and amazing activities that we're all involved in. And I'm sure that we all have some amazing, unique Bradley experiences that we could all talk about. So Michaela, could you speak about one of your Bradley experiences?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I am an event coordinator for ACBU, which is once again the Activities Council of Bradley University. We're the #1 programming board on our campus, which is kind of cool. And so one fun thing that we get to do with ACBU is we get to go to a conference every year called NACA, which is the National Association of Campus Activities. And at this conference, I was able to network with various agents and artists and meet with them, which was really awesome. I got to meet some pretty cool people and some pretty cool performers. And we go there just to, once again, network and bring different performers to our campus, which is super awesome.
That is awesome. That's so cool that Bradley lets you like travel outside and experience different things. And I know, Quinlan, that you've had like an awesome experience outside of the country actually, right?
Yeah, so this last January, me and I think it was 24 other students went to Ecuador. So every year there's this club called Global Medical Training, and we go to a third world country and we set up free medical clinics in a different community every day. So we would get to these clinics at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and there would be a line of people from their villages. And we would be there all day, and we were with doctors from Ecuador, and we would treat them. So we stayed there all day until they were treated. And we also got free time at night to learn about their culture and everything. It was absolutely amazing. And I don't think I could have gotten it anywhere else. So it was awesome.
And that is so cool that you had like such a hands-on experience with your major, especially being a nurse and like getting that real world experience. And I know that Ginger, you've had some unique experiences with your own college of the College of Communications and Fine Arts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So within the College of Communications and Fine Arts, there are plenty of hands-on opportunities to get some real world experiences and maybe just get some exposure to people that are, you know, living the dream and doing exactly what you want to do. So for example, in AIGA, we have plenty of speakers that come probably once or twice every month. And it's just different artists that talk about their experiences, their projects, and what they're working on and what they want to achieve. And it's really cool to get all of these artists from pretty much all across the country to come and speak to us specifically about their work. But outside of graphic design and the art world, there's also opportunities in the sports comm department, for example. I know there's an internship with the LA Dodgers. Some people have interned with the Olympics in Seoul a couple years ago when it was there. And then additionally too, in the Hollywood semester that a lot of our communications majors likes to go on. They spend a semester in LA. They may get to go, you know, to the Grammys or work with iHeartRadio or anything like that. And so it's that really cool hands-on experience that you just might not be able to get anywhere else, and you get to have fun while you're doing it. So.
That sounds awesome. And I know that we just got a brand new business and engineering convergence complex. So Jeremy, I'm pretty sure you've had some unique experiences in that new building and also outside of it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with that new Business and Engineering Convergence Center, one thing about it is that there's a 4-story drop tower right in the middle of the building. So that's, again, one area where you can have hands-on experience with the lab curriculum that's based around that, as well as like our fluids labs and then all the other classrooms that are filled throughout that building. But one unique thing about my major, being a mechanical engineer, is that it's quite flexible. So through Bradley, I've had the opportunity to have a lot of different experiences in manufacturing at Maui Jim Sunglasses here in town. I did research with one of my engineering professors studying Martian concrete. So that was through NASA, as well as, of course, this past summer working construction on that solar plant. So yeah, through Bradley and with my major as well, I've had the opportunity to get a lot of unique experiences.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I know even with in my own major as chemistry, I've also gotten opportunities to research, and it's super rewarding and a great way to get hands-on in my major. And I know obviously we're all at Bradley and we all love it. So I'm just wondering, why did you choose Bradley? Like Emilio, you're from Texas. Why did you choose to come to Peoria, Illinois for college?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Back when I was a senior, I was looking at a lot of schools in Texas and out of state. In Texas, I was getting a lot of big schools, and so I really wanted a personalized experience with like a campus and the teacher. So I decided to just don't stick with Texas and maybe look outside of Texas. And that's how I found Bradley, my counselor. She was from Illinois, so she told me about Bradley. And so I gave it a chance. I came here for a tour and I loved it. Something that I really liked during my tour is that I got to talk to a teacher, and it really showed that they were going to be there for all 4 years of your career here. And so, for example, one of my classes right now, my teacher, Becky Wood, she's an amazing person. She's a consultant here in Peoria. So in her class, she tries to bring in like guest speakers from outside. So like this week, she brought in Rick Sayre, which he's a former president of OSF IPMR. So really great guy. Like he has a lot of information in his brain that he's just sharing with us. And, you know, I was able to like link with him on LinkedIn. So it's always those like connections that you're able to make with this. And also one of my old teachers, former judge, Geraldine Mayer, I took a class with her for 101, and I still talk to her like once a week. I keep up with her. She helps me with my LSAT prep. And with her, she brought a guest speaker once, and I was able to get an internship at the Guardianship and Advocacy Commission. So I will be starting that next semester.
Wow, well, congrats. That is super cool and exciting. So that's awesome, like why you chose Bradley. And I know, Quinlan, you're from Illinois, so what made you choose Bradley over like a larger state school?
Yeah, so I always knew that I wanted to go into nursing. And a big thing with nursing is trying to figure out when you're going to get into clinicals. So all of you seniors and stuff right now, you're probably thinking like, how in the world am I going to be in a hospital? Like, I don't know anything. Well, I was the same way. And what really stood out to me about Bradley is a lot of other schools, you don't really get into the hospital until your junior year. And a nice thing about us is we got in first semester sophomore year. So your freshman year is where you really get those base classes, your English, your biology, math, everything like that. And then sophomore year, we really hit the ground running. So literally the first week of classes, you go, so Markin is our rec center. We actually have some nursing or sim labs and stuff in there, which you'll see they're amazing. And you start off there and it's insane. You go to the nursing home that semester, the hospital the next. So that was my biggest thing is I knew I would get the most experience possible. So I just felt like that would make me the best nurse in the long run.
That's awesome. And I know, like for me, for chemistry, I got involved in research as a freshman, which I know at larger schools, like you wouldn't get involved until you're like junior, senior year. So I'm also really thankful that I had those opportunities as well. So talking about your high school surge, you know, you're a high school senior, junior, looking at college. Josh, what was that like for you?
It was tedious, to be totally honest with you. My high school process was mostly like choosing between a cumulative of 3 schools along with professors that will go along with my schedule and be accommodating to my schedule. So my senior year of high school, I was choosing between 3 of the top speech schools in the nation. And the biggest thing that Bradley had was just like accommodating professors, and then professors that are willing to push you forward even despite having, you know, a heavy schedule. And then along with that, like I had a smaller sort of high school experience, so I wanted something that was a mix between the two of a larger college experience, but also I would be able to know people and see people when I walk across campus. So coming to Bradley, I got all of those things, right? I was able to meet professors and talk to professors, and they were able to, you know, be very accommodating for my schedule, along with meeting new people and getting a great, beautiful, large campus. And then within that, although having a busy schedule, I still was able to join the WGS minor. And within that, I had an internship where we were able to like create a sort of curriculum, I guess you could say, and I was able to teach other classes without even being an education's major. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's why I chose Bradley.
Well, that's awesome. And I know, Emilio, you're also from out of state, and you touched a little bit upon why you chose Bradley. Do you have like any advice for like maybe an out of state student as to like why Peoria is a great place to come?
Yeah. So if you ever decide to come to in-person tour, which I strongly recommend, like it was one of the best experiences I've had, I would recommend just kind of like, don't worry so much about the facts of the school, worry about how it makes you feel. Because you can always go back home or just look in a computer, find all those facts that are great about school, but it's really important to know how a school makes you feel, because it's going to be your home for the next 4 years. And the second I stepped on campus here, like it just felt like home. And then just talking to the teachers and seeing how like you could just walk across campus and like know a person or two, like that was just great to me, coming from a big high school in Texas, like not knowing most people walking around. So I think that was one of the biggest factors for me in choosing Bradley.
That's awesome. And that's also how I feel. I always say Bradley's my home away from home, and I'm always really sad to leave it. And I know much like Quinlan and Jeremy, we're all going to be sad when we graduate. And Jeremy, speaking about that, do you have any advice for high schoolers? Because I know you're kind of a local, so why did you pick Bradley?
Absolutely. Yeah, one thing about Bradley, I would say is to get involved early. Bradley really is a very tight-knit community at just around 6,000 students. Even walking around campus, once you get involved and start making those connections, you'll see those familiar faces everywhere. So at the beginning of every semester, we have our activities fair, where we have over 240 student organizations, and they usually set up tables in the quad, and allow students to walk around and sign up for as many or as few extracurricular clubs that they like. And then that's a very good opportunity to just get involved in things that you're interested in. I talked about earlier how I am in the disc golf club, and that's something that growing up throughout high school, I was super passionate about. We had a couple great courses in my hometown, and coming here, I knew that that was something that I wanted to do. So through that, I met some really, really great friends that we not only play around on the Frisbee golf course, but like hang out on the weekends too. So that's just one advice, is get involved and get involved early.
That's awesome, and I totally agree. And that's unfortunately all the time we have, but thank you guys so much for watching. Please come and visit us for an in-person tour, because we would love to see all of your smiling faces, because we love Bradley and we can't wait to meet you guys. And we hope you have a good night. So thank you guys.
All right. I'm so glad we got to put that student panel together for you. And so as we wrap up today, I really wanted to share the next steps and some of these things the students mentioned and some of our faculty panelists mentioned, but really wanted to go through what you can do now in your college search process to prepare you throughout your senior year. And so talking about scholarship estimates and really the conversations on cost that are so important to so many families, the application process and what that looks like, and then how you can set up those visits that everybody was encouraging you to come and check out. And so when we start to talk about cost, we do have an estimator on our website where you can do, as a family, a scholarship estimate and a net price calculator. Easy for me to say today. And what this is there's really two options. And so you can choose to just put in your academic information and it'll give you a scholarship estimate, or together with your grown-ups, you can go ahead and put in additional financial information of the people that you live with and get a full net price calculator of what Bradley might cost for your family. And so you can see here kind of just an example of what that form looks like. It's literally just kind of some basic information, and it'll go ahead and give you and provide you those scholarship estimates. We understand that cost is a huge part of so many students' college search process and college search decision. At Bradley, your admission counselor is also your financial aid counselor, and we think it's really important that you have one main contact. And so if you have any questions, whether now in the process or later in the process, you know who to go to. All of our admission counselor information is listed out on our website with direct contact information for each of our counselors, or you can always reach out to us on just the general admissions phone number or email address, and we will get you in contact with your admission counselor. At Bradley, to apply to Bradley, you first have to apply. And so filling out the application is always a good step. We have two different ways that you can choose to do that. You can either apply via the Bradley application, which is available on the Bradley website, or you can apply via the Common Application, which is available on the Common Application website. They come into our system exactly the same way, so there is no difference between the two. It's really more your preference. I will say that about 80% of our students actually use the Common App and about 20% use the Bradley application. So if you were just curious about like what the difference was, it's literally just a difference in form. We need a few things for your application to be complete. So we need your actual application, and then we're going to talk a little bit about kind of what those next steps are in a few minutes. But as far as deadlines go, we are in our early action non-binding rolling admission period right now. So easy to say, not so much, but really what that means is that between July 1st and November 1st, if you apply to Bradley, you have priority scholarship notification, priority notification for your admission decision, and should you choose to file the FAFSA in October, you will get your financial aid award. We put November 15th, I usually say by Thanksgiving break. And so the nice part about this is you will have your full admission decision by the time you have those holiday events with families and friends who all want to know probably more than they deserve to know about your life. So you can tell them, at least you have an answer from Bradley. The rest of the year, we're on regular rolling admission. I will share with you that more than half of our students do apply by November 1st. I think it's really just nice to be able to say, like, I'm done with this part of the process. I know I have this as an opportunity, and then use the rest of the school year to get those questions answered, come visit campus, ask to meet with faculty or to meet with current students. I mentioned we were going to talk about the application requirements. Here is exactly what I need. I need you to complete either the Common Application or the Bradley application. I do need official transcripts from either your high school or your community college or four-year institution if you're looking at transferring to Bradley. So you do need to send that official academic record. We will use that to look at the classes that you've taken, the grades that you've gotten in those classes, the academic rigor. So those are really important components to the application. And then for those coming in as first-year freshmen, we do require a personal statement or an essay. That is a 1 to 2 page personal statement where you can write about anything that you want to write about. The Common Application essay that's built into the Common App is perfectly fine and counts as that as well. Optional at Bradley, we are test optional, so if you choose to send them, you are welcome to. Otherwise, when you apply, just select that yes, you would like to apply via test optional admissions, and you do not need to send your test scores. One of the things I have worked already with so many students on is like, is optional really mean optional? And it totally does at Bradley. You can apply test optional to all of our academic programs, to any of our academic scholarships through the admissions office, and also for our honors program. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I can't accept for us. If you want to apply test optional, you are welcome to do so. And then if you think that you would like to send a letter of recommendation, you are welcome to do so as well. Again, not required, and no specific format required for that either. One thing that I always get questions about is, okay, so you talked a little bit about requirements, but like, what does that really mean? And so at Bradley, these are kind of our middle 50%. So really kind of we're half of the classes. So middle 50% on the GPA is between a 3.35 and a 4.0. On the SAT, between a 1080 and a 1280. And then on the ACT, between a 23 and a 28. This means that 25% of our class is above these numbers, 25% of our class is below these numbers. And so really, if you have questions for your individual academic profile, again, reach out to your admission counselor. We are here to help navigate that process with you. As we wrap up today, I want to make sure that you know that we want to continue the conversation with you. And so on our virtual visit website, you can find your admission counselor directly there. As I mentioned, your admission counselor is also your financial aid counselor at Bradley. Additional virtual events, and then opportunities to come visit us on campus, as well as on-demand videos for residence halls and facilities, and to take a campus tour. As we wrap up today, I just wanted to say thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your Bradley story. I know these virtual events look a little different than maybe you thought your senior year might look. And so I am thrilled to get to be a part of your story. Bradley is a really special place that I've had the privilege of getting to be at since I was a student and then for my entire professional career. And it is always my biggest privilege to get to work with you as part of your Bradley story and your college search. Bradley is a special place where nearly 6,000 students work within 185 different majors and academic programs and have opportunities in 240 student organizations to create their individualized Bradley story. And I cannot wait to see what you do with yours. Thank you so much for joining me today. And as always, if you have additional questions after this program, please feel free to reach out to us individually via email or phone. Have a wonderful day. Go Bradley.